Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rick Meyer. This is my first video for a blog, and you'll bear with me as I work through some of the editing procedures and making this content better than just a first time amateur doing this. In any case, this blog is about prostate cancer. I have advanced stage 4 prostate cancer that has metastasized into my bones or moved into my bones, my lymph nodes, and throughout my body. Uh, so it's a terminal diagnosis, and we're going to talk about that in these video blogs and general life as to how I'm dealing with it and that type of thing. But let's just talk about my latest blog from September 10th. Let's get into this. So, one moment here. Bring it up on my screen so I can see it. You can see it already. Here we go. September 10th, 2024. Chemo continues. Yes, it's the fourth time that I've had chemo out of 6, and this is also Prostate Awareness Month. And of course, I'm active in quite a few groups locally and one in Ontario and one federally, which goes across Canada. Obviously, federally, right? Anyway, so um, the prostatecanada.ca site that is in my blog is one of the best sites I've ever come across for prostate cancer and education and resources. They are fantastic. They also have a blue light awareness campaign that you can email or email them your address and stuff. And in September, they'll send you a free blue light bulb to put into your porch area and light it up. So to bring in more awareness. I have a 3D printer, and I've been using that to keep pretty busy. And I've been making these little signs, and they're fantastic. I'm trying to figure out how to put a blue light LED to light up this part. But if you want one of these, just leave me a comment and I'll send it to you. And yeah, anyway, so Prostate Cancer Foundation. So this blog, by the way, is missedallsigns.blogspot.com, and I'll put a link in the description below. We talked about the Light Up in Blue campaign. That's great. And the Canadian Cancer Society has a lot of resources. I find that as I said here, a lot of their resources are driven towards breast cancer awareness and women's awareness. It's starting to become more men's awareness. Maybe it's just my perception of that, of where I live and the advertising I see. We all know that Google and the media outlets that be control what we see and hear, right? Anyway, so let's get into this. My chemo was on a Wednesday this week, this last week actually. So that would have been September. Oh, what was that? 5th, 6th. Let's see here. That would have been Wednesday, September 4th. That's when I had it. And the chemo happens every 21 days. And so I got my usual toxic dose of doxycycline. And, I've been taking this drug and I still can't say it in an IV injection. So I actually have a port in my chest here that it's called the Baird Power Port. I don't know if you can see it there, probably not. Baird Power Port. They put the IV in there, and that actually has a catheter that goes into my vein that carries blood to my heart, so it gets mixed right away with my blood. And as you can see in the picture here, I have purple gloves on, and those are filled with ice to keep my hands and feet cool, and so to uh, reduce the risk of neuropathy. And I have some neuropathy from this. I'm also a type 1 diabetic as well. So I mean, I take insulin, right, for the last 30 plus years, 38 years, maybe more. Anyway, so um, yeah, and usually my diabetic, my blood levels are really good, but on this chemo stuff, it's not. So um, you'll find in the blog I talk about the side effects of each treatment. This one is the treatment for, and so neuropathy, obviously, pins and needles. It's like somebody's pinching you, and then it just goes away. It's just a little pinch. Um, Sometimes I'll be holding a cup, and then all of a sudden I'll just drop it for no reason, yeah, and that's only happened a few times, but it's of concern to me. Uh, when I'm on chemo, so what happens is first couple days it's okay, and then all the symptoms start to kick in, and like mouth tenderness, I get sores and on my mouth, um, or inside my mouth, usually on the left hand side, and my tongue starts to swell, and uh, I have to deal with that with some. It's called Magic Mouthwash, or actually, there's something better than Magic Mouthwash. I should have had it at my desk, but I don't. I'll I'll get it and show you guys a little later. It's made in Italy, a product that's made in Italy, and it's a gel, and it's much better than the Magic Mouthwash. Um, my sleep, uh, well, very little sleep. I'm usually up 19 to 21 hours. I shouldn't say usually. I'm up 19 to 21 hours on any given day, so it floats between those hours, and it's very broken up. Get an hour and a half sleep, and then up for a whole bunch of hours, 8, 10, 12 hours, and then go to sleep for a couple hours maybe, and then up for a whole bunch of hours. And yeah, they've given me all kinds of different drugs to put me to sleep, but most of them are they get me to sleep, and I can get to sleep. That's not a problem. But staying asleep, and then waking up um, 8 hours later or 6 hours later. I only sleep about 6 hours on average anyway. I'm hyperactive as well. Bunch of things wrong with me. Anyway, the uh, with some of the drugs that they've given me, it's just um, it puts me to sleep, and the one drug puts me to sleep for 8 hours, and I wake up and I'm still really groggy for another 4 or 5 hours, and it's just not worth it for the quality of life. Even if I just take half of it, it's just because the bill has a slice in it, and so I tried half, and that just doesn't work. Um, so what else do we have? Sleep. Even with that, I feel lethargic after a while, and when I wake back up, my mind is still going, and I still work on things, and my body is still restless, and it's a really odd feeling to be energized and sleep, and you know, not being able to fall asleep, and it's just like a twilight zone almost. Anyway. Uh, I do go out for long walks with my dogs. I have a couple Weimaraners, and even with that, I notice I'm losing muscle mass, and that's not good. I like to move around, and I'm a doer, and not a just sitting on the couch eating potatoes. So anyway, um, my hip joints now, they on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, my hip joints were, and my muscles, they were so sore. It was just crazy. I had to take my hydromorphone. I was taking about 12 milligrams of that per day, and trying to get rid of the pain. And um, it's just debilitating. I can't, walking up steps is a problem, which is sucks. Anyway, so today, being Thursday, I'm quite a bit better. I can at least walk um, a little bit, and I'm not going to conquer any mountains or anything like that, but I can get around. If I um, lose the ability to walk, that would be pretty devastating to me. I know what that's like to be in a wheelchair. I had my daughter, or sorry, my youngest sister was in a wheelchair her whole life, and she has spina bifida. So I know what it's like to try and wheel around in a wheelchair. So I think I'm getting some muscle atrophy, and so that means the loss of nerve connections to the to the muscles, and the muscles actually deteriorating. Mm. I think also the steroids I'm taking, they are playing games with my mind. Uh, it's some serious polarness. I get easily enraged and over the smallest things, and as I said in my blog, I feel like that Venom creature in the movie. Let Venom, let there be carnage, and it's just like, yeah, let's eat them. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, stress with all this stuff. Yeah, there's just way too much stress, and um, my wife's she has two children, and one of them's in Fredericton, one of them's in Newfoundland. The one in Newfoundland, yeah, she's had such a rough go of it from the medical system, and she finally found a doctor in Newfoundland. She just moved out there a little while ago, and she uh, um, I think she was in an accident, some type of accident. She had a injury to her neck, and it was never really flushed out. So now they are doing CT scans and trying to figure out what's going on finally after several years. And her one doctor that she just tried, oh, she convinced him. I had to convince the doctors to do a CT scan. Um, uh, he suspects she might have MS. Now, my dad had MS as well, so that's pretty serious, and that's really concerning. And she also has uh, um, a son as well, a small son, little son, and it's a lot of concern to Michelle and me, of course, as well, but more to Michelle because it's her daughter, right? And uh, Mich- uh, Michelle's son is going through a divorce and trying to deal with getting a sitter and kids, and Michelle's trying to help with that, and it's a lot of stress when Michelle has to leave the house at 5:15 to go and look after do some babysitting, or can't really say babysitting your own grandchildren sitting um, the kids while her son goes to work and earns money to pay the rent and the bills. Because of all the traveling, it's an hour to Fredericton, and my chemo sessions, and the dogs, they're not getting out for a walk, which they're Weimaraners or hunting dogs. They need to get out, right? And so that's puts stress on me as well. And um, uh, on the past weekend, I was so bad I couldn't even. It was a struggle for me to make my own meals and to get up. Right, it was a struggle, and I wasn't eating very well. I'm part of a clinical study as well at a Dalhousie called PC PEP, If you Google it, you'll find it. And they teach you um, how to eat, what to eat, and why you should be eating that. They're very, very encouraging. Exercise-wise, mental state. They look after your mental state. They try to get you to meditate and also to make connections with your friends and your buddies and your partner, right? And it's a really fantastic system. So if you have cancer of any type, whether you're male or female, um, uh, gay, not gay, it doesn't matter. They have all kinds of different studies going on, and I would I do highly recommend you reach out to them, pcpep.ca, I think it is. Um, with my short life expectancy and the significant distress, depression, and anxiety, and from all of the what life is bringing, it's really tough right now. And the steroids and the chemotherapy just wow, just do a lot of funny things with your mind and stuff like that. So I'm glad I have people to reach out to, and my buddy, shout out to Wayne Hatcher in Halifax. That man, he's such a positive inspiration to me, man, for sure. And I'm not so sure if I'm a positive inspiration to him, but he says I'm pretty upbeat, but I don't know about that. Anyway, he does. Yeah, he's made a big difference in my life for sure. Um, the As I say, my website here, chronic stress may also lead to the release of classic steroid hormones called glucocorticoid. I can't say that. Anyway, you can read it there, and which means with all this stress, right? And I have to get rid of this stress. Um, your body can't fight it off. It's trying to fight off the stress, and it's also trying to fight the cancer. So what you can't do both at the same time, or at least it tries. But if you're not eating well and with all of that, you're not getting anywhere, right? Uh, um, so you have to get rid of some of that stress. Um, I feel that I'm on tritherapy, right? So that's a ADT tritherapy. So that means I'm on uh, Lupron. Uh, let's do it this way. Lupron for the rest of my life, right? So that's basically medical castration. It shuts down all the testosterone production. Uh, uh, doxytaxel, which is the IV I get, so every 21 days, and darlutamide, which is a um, another drug that goes and fights the cancer as well. So those three, all in one shot, all at the same time, um, and it's like to me, it's like using a fire hose to douse the source with toxic chemicals until it kills off all the cells, right? And then so when I was first diagnosed, I was told, no, you're not a candidate for radiation therapy. And then I get a call from a radiologist and, oh, we want to radiate you too. And I'm thinking, wow, really? And it was a study, it was 78 people. Um, and of this study, it's phase 1 clinical trial. And it shows that people with with metastasized cancers, it could help this radiation therapy. But when it's all through the body, throughout my whole body, my hips, my bones, everywhere, my joints, my head, lost all my hair. Yeah, um, you're going to radiate one section of your body. Well, the cells from the other part are going to go and seed that, right? it's going to seed it. And so um, I feel that the doctors are just trying to treat all these symptoms and not actually cure it. I don't know. Maybe it's just New Brunswick, but I don't think so. The type of um, treatment that I'm on is pretty standard out there. It's been out there since, well, for at least, I would say 6 years, maybe more. Might be more. The tritherapy. Anyway, I don't know if what's next after all these chemo treatments and the quality of my life, especially last time. This past session was really tough to get through, and I was pretty depressed and really mentally. Why should I put myself all through this pain and what am I going? What's going to happen after that? Oh, there goes the dogs. Okay, enough of that. We don't need to talk about any more about that. So if you need to talk to somebody about this stuff, you should email me and we can always touch base. Leave a comment. In any case, let's talk about questions I've been asked. And once people normally hear my story, they usually say, "I'm so sorry." Uh, and I've been asked, what when people say, "I'm so sorry," what's that mean to you, Rick? And to me, I'm just thinking that they're sad. There's nothing that they can do. If there was something they could do to make it better, then perhaps they would. They probably would. But they're just sorry, and that society teaches us to say that. And maybe a better word or a better phrase, I should say, is "I'm so sorry." And yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate the thoughts of people, and um, I know that makes a big difference to me. Uh, you might think that, oh, you know, what I could say, "I'm so sorry." That probably doesn't make much of a difference to Rick, but I'll tell you, it does. It means that there's people out there that actually care, and that's important to me. That people actually care. Another question was, are you going to do all the treatments that the doctors are talking about? Probably not. Oh my gosh, I've questioned some of the doctors. I'm sure some of the doctors are a little fed up with all my research, and you'll find most of my research on my blog as well. Some of the treatments don't have enough positive outcome and clinical data for me to consider it viable. Right, like this radiation, there was only 78 people that they radiated, and they did a study on them and had positive results. And 22%, I believe, had prostate cancer, and on the average, it's 1.5 metastases sizes uh, um, per person, and so that's just way too low. There's another study I haven't looked up yet. It's called the Stampede study that a radiologist told me to look up, and I have to take a look at that. So we'll see. Some of the I feel that some of the treatments are actually more evasive and cause more severe symptoms that no one, especially me, wants to deal with. Imagine getting radiation treatment that radiates the prostate and my hips. There's always radiation spillover, right? So you're radiating a small area, but it's going to radiate a little bit larger, right? Um, what we call spillover. Then so that's like in my bowels. So you get radiation in your bowels. And if that causes your bowels to fail, which it's going to cause some problems with your bowels to begin with, right? And that's not going to be fun at all. And then that could affect your that function of the bowels for the rest of my life. There's a risk there, and there's risks. There's other risks as well with that. So quality of life is key to me. It's very key. All right. I'm pro-life, right? I don't want to die early, for sure, but I want a good quality life. I don't want to be a vegetable. I think most people can understand that. Um, been asked, like quality of life, what are your thoughts in relation to an accident or a serious incident? And so if I get into an accident or have a like serious medical incident, like getting hit by, I live in Woodstock, New Brunswick, get run over by a big tractor, one of those big, huge farm tractors, 100 horsepower, four big, huge tires, or a transporter or something like that. Anyway, not going to get hit by a bus. We don't have any buses in New Brunswick. Well, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, not many buses or trains here in New Brunswick. Um, uh, as long as I have a good quality life, or I'm expected to have a good quality of life, and I won't be um, restricted to the bed. Like if I'm in a wheelchair, okay, I can deal with that, right? I don't want to, but I don't want to be bedridden. I don't want to be a vegetable. I don't want to be um, having everybody to. I don't want to have everybody a bunch of resources or people resources that I have to rely on daily in order to have a life. That's no life to me. I need to um, be mobile and get out and have interaction. Now, otherwise, as I say in my blog, um, I'll execute my maid service and end my life peacefully. And that's maid services. Uh, it's a thing by the province. I have a link on the website. Uh, it's um, medically assisted death. Basically, that's what it is. Um, so, yeah, let's go into that. Here's one of the things I've been asked frequently when you pass. What are some of the thoughts and wishes that I want to have done when I pass? What are some of those, right? Like if people don't ask you and you don't tell anybody, how are people going to know what you want when you pass away? I know this is a little dark, but get get all your ducks in a row, get them written down, get your life, get a um, one moment. Anyway, so when you pass, what are some of your wishes, thoughts you want to be followed? Well, I want my wife to move on with her life and not be depressed about me dying early on her, for sure. I want my dogs to see me dead because I want them to know I just didn't leave them and never come back. Now, Weimaraners are extremely smart. They're known as dogs with the human brain, and they get very, very attached to their owners, just like other dogs do too. But I feel that my Weims will understand death and be able to move on. I want my friends to have a celebration, a life celebration, and not a depressing funeral. Get the barbecue going, and get some good food, drinks, and a live band. Yeah, with some friends taking turns on the stage, remembering me. That's what I want. Yeah, I want a green burial, uh, and I don't see the point of making a huge, expensive casket so airtight that my body liquidates inside it. Just come on, guys. Just something simple, a little pine box or even a shroud doesn't matter. Put me in the ground, bury me. Uh, be nice if you marked the spot where you buried me, for sure, and go on. Anyway, on my website, or on my blog, you'll see some of the T-shirts. I just laid these out. Yes, I didn't iron them. I have some pictures of me in them, but it's easier to see them when I go. Right. So this is my first shirt that I wore to chemo. It's this side up, fragile. I thought that was funny, and found this saying on the web. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to changes, by Stephen Hawking. I thought that was very, very appropriate because there's a lot of changes. Chemo, this is my second shirt, would be so much rewarding if cancer screened while you destroyed it. Yeah, no, that would be fantastic. Yeah, and I made this saying up myself. Nurses, the time travelers in the quantum realm of chemo, guiding me through my chemo journey with strength and style. Yeah, so it's a play on the last from the last shirt, and yeah, it's very true. Nurses help you. Then I got a Baird PowerPort, and what this says is Baird PowerPort with a little arrow going to it. Toxic drugs and alcohol go here. And I was starting to lose my hair by the third, just prior to the third one, so the second between the second and the third, and so I just shaved my head. And September, so you look really funny doing that with your head. You have to twist it. That's the front. And then this back is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, which is September this month. Symptoms of prostate cancer can and sometimes be noticed from the first when the cancer advances, which is why screens are extremely important. So all you have to do, if you want to get tested, you're male, if you're 40 or 50, get your PSA checked. Okay, and so that's a simple blood test. It's just in your arm, blood test. That's it. Get it checked twice. Once the first time. If it's less than 4, you're probably good. If it's more than 4, there's some cause for concern. But get it tested next year too, to make sure that things are going on that are okay, right? You catch it early, you won't be in the situation I'm in. My doctors, you know, they didn't catch it. I was telling them all kinds of problems I was having, weight loss, and 6 out of the 7 things on here I had. And I'm a type 1 diabetic, been get blood tests every 3 months, right? No one wanted to test my PSA. No one, I didn't even know to check, to even ask for a PSA blood test. I had no idea. I didn't even know what that was. So how do you ask for something you don't even know exists? That's what we're supposed to be relying on our medical professionals for. That's why we have engineers. We rely on them for engineering questions, right? Well, this PSA, it's not quantum mechanics, guys. To the medical community, shame on you guys for making it so difficult to get. It should be a standard, at least once a year. You turn 50 or even 40. What's it take? Check the PSA. You're going to save lives instead of letting them be destroyed, and like mine. Anyway, I have another video that I've made with AI. It did the images, I did the script. You'll find it, and it's a pre-death notice on the website. Take a look at it, because that's how I felt. Anyway, so that's it for this blog entry. I'm going to do another one in a couple more days and let you know what I've been doing and some of the stuff to keep me busy. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching. And once I post this, I'll have some links below. Make sure you click on them and check them out. Thanks, guys.